Got me to take the paper?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Let's just start by telling us who you are and what you do.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kathy Healy. I'm a special ed district program facilitator for Minneapolis Public Schools. And I work with special ed teachers, students, staff, principals at 8 elementary schools, kindergarten through 5th grade.
All right, thank you. I just want to say thank you. Just start with the first question. I'm gonna edit all this out, so don't worry. So,
who has most influenced you to become an educator, and how did they influence you? I have been teaching since I was basically about 14 years old. I started teaching swimming lessons to students, or well, actually they were children and adults with disabilities at a summer camp. And I fell in love with that, and I knew that was my passion, and I've not wavered. This is my 33rd year teaching, but 23rd in Minneapolis.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say on to other educators out there, to people who want to become an educator later on down the line?
Good. Shake it off. There you go.
Yes, we need you in the profession. So I am ready to retire, and I am out here every single day because I believe in the profession of teaching. I believe in public education, and I really want people to go into the profession, and they won't if they're getting paid basically poverty wages that they can't afford to live on. So especially teachers of color, we need teachers of color. It's so important for their representation, because we know that having people of color teaching our children, all children, it's critical for their learning. And if we want to even try to close any achievement gaps, we have to have representation of the people of color in our schools.
Who can defeat us? I can't hear you over there. Who can defeat us? Who can defeat us? The race isn't won to the swift, but to those who endure to the end. The race is not won always to the swift, but to those who endure to the end. We have been running a race, but this is an Olympic speed walking race. Well, yes, we're fast, but we're not gonna run to our death. We're gonna walk. And we're gonna walk in unison, and hand in hand. And we're gonna show cause see, with this, who can defeat a fist? That's our solidarity. 3 years ago, when they said, what are you doing in the middle of 38th in Chicago? I said, you know what? No one will ever be able to pass by here again the same. And they said, you put in a garden? Yes, that garden was to garden this world. So you are all the tillers. The seeds are planted in the children, and you are taking care of all the children. That's why we must do everything to take care of you, the true gardeners of our future destiny. Who are we? Who are we? The finish line, they say, is ahead, but we're never finished in this fight. See, I'm a builder also, and when I build a building, I build it up, I construct it, I get the keys back, I'm gone. But with a gardener, it's 24/7. It's a seed inside that I fertilize in our water. The same as teachers. Because I bet I can go through every one of you. I can say, how many of you sleep all the way throughout the night without thinking one of your students? And 0. Because I know you all think about your students with all your heart. And so you know what? We are going to be victorious. Not this day, but every day that comes. And keep fighting till you get your very last nail or screw or staple that you want. You do not, Marsha, do we give up? No. Do we give up? No! 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 here because of Marcia Howard. We both from Arkansas, Little Rock, a place where education and black people, anyway, we were last in line and last at the table. My mother crossed over. She's one of the first to ever study in the integrated East Side Junior High School. Right? She's one of 25. I knew the importance of education from the beginning. They tried to tell me I was weird to want to be a scientist or to want to learn English or speak Spanish or do all these, or art. But it was the only thing that made me survive. And you know who encouraged this? A teacher. Kings just rule and most are never understood. Teachers are the one that teach. They show you the way. They show you, hey, this is the door. This is the way you go through the door. This is what you should expect on the other side of the door. They don't tell you about all the people that are going to be up against you. They just say, you know what? I need you to go focus on you and put everything in you. Because there's a man his name is Gary Breyer. He was in San Jose, California. I went to Archbishop Meade High School. And he was an openly flamboyant gay man. And people, they kind of, oh, you know, and, you know, I was a little kid from Little Rock and I had this love for English and language. But he was like, you know what? Because I couldn't write this prose like he said, you know what? Try poetry. I said, what's that? He said, well, all the words you feel, you may not get out. Just get the ones that are most important and get it down and come back. And that was the beginning of my English career. Where did I go to school at? University of Iowa. What did I study? Woo! English. They have an international writers program there. You can't tell now, but I'm 6'9", I'm tall. But I play basketball. And you know what? They were like, you want to study English? Oh, that's just no. I want to study English because it's not easy. It's because I love it. And I couldn't.
What you do?
I'm a music therapist, and I work in the district. I was just hired in November, and I am actually part of the COVID relief, and I work with classrooms that have been identified as having 25% or greater accessing special education services. So a lot of 4th and 5th grade classrooms and a lot of working with resource teachers because music therapy isn't provided necessarily to resource teachers like it can be in setting 3 and setting 4 classrooms or like on IEPs. So that's my role in the district anyway. But I used to work in private practice before I came here, so working in school systems, working individually with children with special needs, working with elders with dementia. So I've had and working in hospitals, so I've had lots of different experience that way.
So what inspired you to help others or bring inspiration and joy? Because music does bring joy and inspiration depending on what you're listening to.
Right.
So what gave you that inspiration?
I think for me, like my aha moment of wanting to be a music therapist was my mom used to be a personal care assistant in a home with a family with 2 children with autism, and I got to go and observe music therapy with one of the kids, and he used to have a lot of he was nonverbal at the time, and so he had a lot of like outlashing because he couldn't communicate what his needs were, and to see him communicating in the music therapy session and how much peace it gave him, that was like my aha moment, like, oh my gosh, I can do something that I love, which is music, and it can help other people. And then my knowledge base just grew and grew, obviously, as I took more classes in college and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of was my aha moment that made me want to be a music therapist. And I just like helping others in general, right? The music can bring people joy. The music transcends language. That, we all have music's this base thing that's happened since the beginning of time, right? They found music instruments that go back thousands of years.
Yeah.
I should be doing this. I'm going to try to, what would Rebecca do?
These are social emotional.
Okay, I'm also passionate about what is your approach to classroom management and student discipline. That is critical also. If we don't build relationships and we approach it as even a disciplinary action, it's gonna fail. Like, we have to get to know our students, we have to believe in them, and we have to realize that any kind of challenges we see in students can be overcome if we get to know them and know why they have these challenges. And until we do that, we're not gonna, I don't even want to talk discipline, because discipline is a word that we should not have in our education system. So it's really about supporting our students and their needs.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yes.
For hospitality and Seton Hall and all these other, but it was Iowa with English. But you do not get English without an education. And the reason why they want to bottleneck your funds is, see, when they bottleneck your funds, they open the pipeline, the prison pipeline wider. I'm gonna say that one more time. Then when they bottleneck the funds, they open up the prison pipeline wider.
Yep.
I'm actually on my way to speak with Andrea Jenkins right now. And it's about the land, it's about remediating the soil, about curing the land. You know, again, that's what that George Floyd is about, is so we can cure the land. Past, present, and future. Through the soil, through the people, through the air, through the water, you know. I just stopped. I didn't plan to be here. I didn't expect you all. I didn't expect you all to be here. But I want to say I love you. I want to say I love you and thank you for encouraging all of us. I'm your smallest student ever, and I love you. All right, and I'm your bodyguard. Who are we? MFT. Who are we? MFT. Who are we? MFT. And last thing, that's Shiloh Temple. That's my home. 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. You're all welcome. Come as you are, please. God bless you. Thank you. This is Atlantic.
Yes.
So like that's.
So let me ask you this. What would you be able to tell someone that wanted to become an educator during this time right now, seeing the strike, hearing everything that's going on? What can you tell them about being in the field?
As an educator or as a music therapist?
As a music therapist.
Music therapist? I guess I would say you gotta have a passion for it, right? For anything you do, you have to have a passion for the kids, and that's who it's about, and that's whose lives you make a difference in. So I think you have to, first of all, have some self-reflection to identify that that's what you want to do, and that's who you want to help, and the difference that you want to make in people's lives, right? And then I think one thing that I've found interesting about working for the district is that just collaborating with other people and how collaborating can help improve the lives of kids also. And learning, like not only are we educators, but we should be forever learners too, right?
I agree.
Like our students teach us things, our colleagues teach us things, people in the community teach us things, and so always be open-minded to networking, open-minded to what people have to share. I think that's really important, and not just as an educator, but as a human being.
Yes. That's what being an educator is all about. It's just being a human being, and that's what
genuine.
I think. And genuine.
Like there's something really genuine. Also, I think for me as a music therapist, the important thing to remember is that above all else, kids want to play, right? Kids want to be accepted, and with younger kids, part of that is playing. Knowing that that's how you build trust, that's how you build genuine relationship, and that changes obviously as kids get older, like how you create that genuine relationship and trust.
Yes.
And that's really important.
Yes.
And kids can see through that. Kids can see when you're not being genuine, and when you're exhausted, and when they don't have that trust or they can't trust you. So I guess those are some important things to think about as you're reflecting about becoming an educator. Is bring yourself.